Joining me now is the Conservative National Council President, Robert Batherson. Mr. Batherson, great to have you on. Your reaction to the Senator's petition?
Well, first off, Evan, I just want to express our solidarity here in Nova Scotia with our friends in British Columbia. Very moving images, and certainly to MP Dan Albus, who's been doing yeoman service as environment climate change critic. We're standing with all our friends in British Columbia. To your question regarding Senator Batters's petition, I have the utmost respect for the contributions that Senator Batters has made to the Conservative movement. She's been a very forceful advocate for mental health, suicide prevention, but the reality is our Constitution is clear. Leadership selection processes, leadership events are triggered under Article 10.8 of the Constitution. There's no provision under Article 10.8 that references the section of the Constitution that states petitions, referendum, and so it's really a backdoor way to try to get around the Constitution.
Right, well, I put that to her last night. She argues, as you know, that all she needs is 5% of Conservative members in at least 5 provinces in 90 days, and her petition will pass, and there'll have to be a review in 6 months. So I asked her about your comments. Here's what she told us. Check this out.
I disagree with Mr. Batherson on that. We're not asking for the leadership selection process to commence. We're simply asking for a referendum of the members, as is allowed. We're confident under the Constitution, under that particular provision. There's no particular part that limits what members are allowed to ask for a referendum of. That's what I'm requesting as a member of the Conservative Party of Canada. A referendum just asking for the members to have the confidence vote for the leader expedited. That's all.
Okay, so Mr. Batherson, we're not asking for a leadership selection process. We're simply asking for the referendum on members. You're laughing. Why?
Well, you know, I guess I want to be charitable because I do respect, you know, the contribution Senator Batters has made. But the reality is, you're bringing forward a referendum calling for a confidence vote on Aaron O'Toole's leadership. You can't credibly turn around and claim it's not related to triggering a leadership selection process. Referenda, by their very nature, are binding. So what does the referendum, what does it propose to bind the party to do, if not to trigger a leadership event? So again, I don't want to say it's disingenuous to claim that it's not related to Aaron O'Toole's leadership. I think most reasonable Conservatives, regardless of their opinion, will read the petition, watch the 2-minute video where Senator Batters is being very critical of Aaron O'Toole, and draw the conclusion, as most reasonable people would draw, that it's about Aaron O'Toole's leadership.
Right. But sir, first of all, I don't know if all referendum are necessarily binding, but the point is...
Well, plebiscites are non-binding, and referendum, you know, by their definition, are binding.
Okay, but, you know, is Aaron O'Toole, if she's got the support she says, and that remains to be seen, but she's a senior senator, she's well respected, she says, okay, I've got a bunch of MPs who are worried about retribution. This is what she told me last night. They don't like Aaron O'Toole. There's been a lot of rumblings. And is Aaron O'Toole going to try to fend off an attack, an open questioning of his leadership by saying, hey, Article 10.8 in our Constitution says you can't do it, and he's going to have a whole group of rebels saying, we don't like you. Like, how is he going to respond to this, and how will the party respond to her petition?
Well, Evan, we're supposed to be the party of the rule of law, not the party of the rule of whim. And so, as President of National Council, I have a responsibility to ensure that the Constitution is followed. So this is an unconstitutional referendum proposal. The authors, the sponsors, the supporters, whether there are 5 people who signed the petition or 2,000 people, can't get around that reality that it is unconstitutional. If members of Parliament...
So what does it mean?
But if I can
just tell me what it...
But if members of Parliament have concerns with Aaron O'Toole's leadership, elected members of Parliament, they have the power under the Reform Act to trigger a review. So members of parliament can trigger a review if they want. They don't need an unconstitutional petition
But this
to
is
get
happening anyway. I'm just so if you call it unconstitutional, and she doesn't. We've seen the Conservative National Ontario councillor Bert Chen, who also had a petition. He's under suspension for a petition pushing for a referendum. What could you do to Senator Batters? What could happen with this petition? Like, if you call it unconstitutional, then what? What if she just continues to do it? Is there any action the party can take against her?
Well, it goes nowhere. I mean, you can't have unconstitutional petitions. So that's the reality.
Okay, so you're just saying it can exist in a void. Politics is politics. It could be doing tremendous damage. Can the party take any? Is there any action the party can take against the people who sign it, support it, or Senator Batters herself?
No, look, free speech is free speech. I can go on and sign any petition that I want, and any Conservative can sign any petition that they want. But this petition does not adhere to the Constitution. Right. So if Senator Batters and others want to push this ball up a hill,
right.
they're free to put the energy in. But an unconstitutional petition referendum proposal is going to go nowhere.
Okay, I just got a second here, but you say free speech is free speech. But you got the National Ontario Council, Bert Chen, is under suspension. That wasn't free speech. He's getting nailed.
Well, Mr. Chen was subject to a complaint. And Evan, I'm on National Council. We're all on National Council from coast to coast to coast across Canada. We're volunteers, but we all have a responsibility to adhere to a code of conduct. And when we receive a complaint from a member in good standing, and in Mr. Chen's case, we received multiple complaints, none of us are above our responsibilities under the Code of Conduct of the Constitution. So National Council had a responsibility to follow up on that complaint and take appropriate action. National Council determined that there were grounds to suspend Mr. Chen and initiate an investigation based on the complaint that was received.
Okay, so far that's not the case for the senator. We'll find out. Hey, listen, I really appreciate you joining us, the Conservative National Council President, Robert Batherson.